Okay, Greg, we are rolling, my friend.
Yay.
Are you ready for 5 on Friday?
Oh, I'm ready, dude.
All right, let's get to it, my friend. All right, there he is. Oh, it's Greg Salerno, and I don't know what's going on. There he is. How are you, Greg?
Hey. I'm pretty good, man. How you doing?
We're doing good. As you might have witnessed, no Pike today on the show. I mean, it's a little bit different. Pike died last night. No, okay.
Wow, that's crazy.
We did that one other time.
Yeah, poor Bob Saget.
Pike is alive. We're just joking.
Yes, he's on the cover. He's on the cover of Rare Wolf or whatever that's called. There's the album cover. I was trying to get you to look at.
What is it called?
Is it Rare Earth something?
Rare
Earth.
And what's it?
I said Wolf.
What is it? Rare Earth band, and what's the? Is it called Get Ready?
I have to see it. Damn it! I wish I had this ready. I'm an idiot, but
either way, Pike is. While you're looking that up, Greg, Pike is not here. He's got a job, and he has some kind of like phone-a-thon thing going on from 5:30 this morning till 7 o'clock at night. So he's gonna be smoked. So we're like, that's okay, dude. Just take the day. Greg and I will take 5 on Friday. But what Greg and I were alluding to earlier here, when I said Pike is dead and we shouldn't do that, we did that to Bob Saget. So public apology to Bob Saget. Because we said we were, oh, you're just going to show it up to the camera?
I don't understand what's going on. I can't get it to go. It's like trying to cut my hair in the mirror and shit. What the fuck am I doing?
There
all right, hold on.
Higher. Yeah.
Does it look like Pike?
Yeah, there he is. Oh, Pike. Yeah, dude. There you go. Give me the full screen Pike here.
Oh, all right, hold on. Let's see if I can get it to do it again. It's gonna take me an hour to get it back up there. Hold on. Come on, you stupid. All right,
hold on. When you do that, let me see if I can. Can I do this? There it is. At Pike Taylor Radio.
Good looking guy, though. I mean, the guy's good looking. You know?
What a great looking guy. So anyway, we were interviewing Bob Saget, and this is back in the day on BS in the Morning when Doug was on the show. Yeah. And Doug wasn't in.
Well, he just left.
Yeah,
he just left.
He just left?
Yeah, right. He had just left the show, and we were going to tell him that, like, I don't know, something happened or whatever, and we wound up just telling him that he was dead.
Yeah. Bob Saget was expecting Doug to be on the interview, and it turns out we were like, oh, man, let's just say Doug died. And then it launched into, like, Bob Saget. It was like, my friend just died, too, and I know what you're going through. Yes. And we're like, oh, no.
Dude, he sent backstage passes for Sparks and I to go down there and hang out with him to mourn our friends together so that we can go to his show and go hang out with Bob Saget. To this day. Did we ever tell Doug?
I don't think we ever told Doug. And here's the problem. We didn't go to the show. We're like, we can't go.
No, we didn't show up. No way, dude. I wasn't going to go. No way. Like stolen valor, dude. I'm not going to go down there.
Yeah, I feel so bad. We can't see that man in the face. Can't look. Shout out to Bob Saget for being like an actual human and like a decent human being. And like, oh man, like he immediately was like trying to comfort us and be like, I just went through the same thing and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, I felt awful.
I think we talked to him again, right? Not too long ago. And he was like, he didn't say anything about it at all.
Yeah, no, thank God. Hopefully he forgot. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show. It's 5 on Friday. That right there. He is at Greg Salerno on all social media. Go and see him and reach out to him, follow, do whatever you got to do. I am at Sparks Radio on all social media. This is 5 on Friday, where you write the questions. You send it in to us, either a DM or a comment, whatever you got to do. I usually put them up on my stories, the Insta stories or whatever they're called. So it's all contained. It's right there. I can just click a button and they're all right there for me, which is nice. So if you got questions for 5 on Friday, send it in. Do not hesitate. We got 5 questions here from members of the committee. Greg, that's what we're calling the audience. I don't know if you are privy to that knowledge. We're calling it the committee.
MOC, the mocks.
That's right, baby. We got
Let's mock the fuck out.
So, all right, here we go. Let's launch right into it. Question number 1 from the mocks. Here we go. All right, this is from @IzzyGuy443. Fight 10 toddler-sized 8-year-olds or fight 1 8-year-old the size of Andre the Giant. Fight 10 toddlers, bro. 10 toddlers the size of 8-year-olds or fight 1
run them around like you've been kicking them like footballs all over the fucking place, man. A giant. I don't want to fight an Andre the Giant guy. I mean,
I don't care if Andre the Giant was 8 years old.
That's
he would destroy me. Like, it's Andre the Giant. If you're that big, you got base muscle. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. And Andre the Giant was nice. 8-year-olds are dicks. You know what I mean? I don't want to fight that guy. You fight 10 8-year-olds. I can fight 100 8-year-olds. Who cares? No. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if there's
I feel like you're underestimating the size of an 8-year-old. And 8-year-olds, I mean, they're weird now. Dude. They're like, they eat a lot of protein. They're getting bigger, dude.
No.
Humans are growing.
I'll knock out 200 8-year-olds tonight. At the same time. It'd be like Neo in Matrix 2 and that scene in the fucking park or whatever in that little alleyway. I'd be spinning them around.
Yeah, you're fighting 1,000 Agent Smiths.
Yeah.
That's Greg fighting 8-year-olds.
I'm saying if I had to. I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way. You know. What about you?
Well, first of all, I mean, 8-year-old, you're right at the cusp of no longer. You're reaching the level of. Because, like, little kids are great because you can just throw them around. You know what I mean? They love to roughhouse. They love to wrestle. And that's what it is. You just pick up a kid and you throw him in the couch. You throw him on the bed. I do that with my son all the time. And he loves it. Loves it. Looks forward to it. You know, they got all this energy. They got to get him out. But 8, I feel like humans as, like, a species we're getting bigger. You know what I mean? We're just getting, ever go to one of those theaters that was built in, like, 1918? And you sit in those seats, you're like, this is what a grown man,
dude.
You know, fitting? This is awesome.
I thought comedy shows at theaters were like, I would take up 6 seats if I sat down in the theater. It was like ridiculous. They're like tiny, bro. Like 1918 Yankee Stadium fucking seats and shit. Awful. Like just tiny.
They're awful. Yeah. Because they were all malnourished. They all smoked since the age of 6. You know what I mean? So they were all like, they were all tiny people. And now...
Well, they didn't have grocery stores full of food either. They just eat whatever the fuck they want. You know?
Exactly. Now
I can get a Baconator in 3 seconds.
Yeah, one Baconator in the early 1800s could have fed a village. Like, they would have been like, oh...
Dude, yeah. If the Donner Party had a Baconator, they would have made it. They would have made it all the way through.
That's right. Yeah, the first Thanksgiving in the cornucopia was just one Baconator. It wasn't even
that's all it was.
Full. Yeah, it was like the feast of the Baconator was the first.
And they all shared a Frosty for dessert.
Yes, and they all had diabetes before the winter set in. So I think 8-year-olds, because I have a niece and she's 8 years old and she's pretty tall, man. So 10 of them, 10 of them would be a lot. 10 of them would be a lot to fist fight. However,
dude, I'll fight 10 of your nieces right now, bro.
Well, I know. Yeah. Thanks. Tough guy Greg can beat up 10 of my nieces. Thanks.
Well, that's the question, isn't it? If your niece looked like Andre the Giant, I wouldn't fucking go anywhere near her.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. All right, so there you go. Andre the Giant, no doubt. The 10-year-old or 8-year-old, whatever it is, no one wants to fight anything the size of Andre the Giant at all.
Yeah. Speaking of people that are gigantic, I met Izzy guy, and he's fucking Andre the Giant, dude.
Is he really? He's a big dude?
He's like 6'3", like 250 pounds of pure muscle, bro.
Wow. So he's built like
a
me,
big
essentially.
fucking dude.
He's
built exactly like you. Yes.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you. You just described me precisely. Exactly.
Hi, Benny.
All right, here we go. Question number 2. Let's go to this. This one, I'm not even going to say who this is from because obviously it came from a DM and I don't want to blow up their spot. Here we go. Question number 2.
Right.
If a perfect clone of you were created right down to the tiniest cellular detail, hold on. Would it be you or would it somehow still be missing something?
Oh, I see. I always wonder about this because you're only you for a split second. Whatever the shortest amount of time measurement is, you're you for that time.
What do you mean?
You know what I'm saying? Am I like, I'm a different person than I was 3 seconds ago because I'm not that person anymore. Like that. You're only conscious in that moment, you know?
Yeah.
So I think a clone would not even be close to you at all. It would just be a look like you, and you know what I mean? But it wouldn't be you.
Right. And plus,
Sorry, Benny, get out of here.
Aren't we we're a collection of experiences, and that's who has helped shape and form us, even the wiring in our brain. All right. And that's why, a lot of serial killers had traumatic a childhood, and that
rewires their brain.
Yeah, exactly, because they're all messed up, man. All the wiring's screwed up. So I don't think a clone. I mean, physically, they're gonna be perfect. Obviously, this is what everyone goes.
Yeah.
However, I think that psychologically they would be completely different.
I agree, and I also think that. I don't know, man. I think that they might even grow differently. You know what I mean? Because they're different environments. They might not look like you as much as you thought they were gonna. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, precisely. Would you want to get cloned? Would you want to have a clone made of Greg?
I don't know. Not gonna do me any good. Just another dude. You know what I mean?
So
I guess maybe for parts.
Yeah. You use them like the spare car in the garage. You're like, all right, just rip it out of that Buick and throw it in this one.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I don't know, man. Part of me wants a clone, just because I know it wouldn't be me. It's still not me. I know. I agree with Greg. Greg's the first person who always said, hey, man, we are not our bodies. We are just our consciousness. You're the person who got me thinking down that road. Well, you're absolutely right. All we are is just our consciousness. You know what I mean? So,
but I don't even know if our consciousness is even a thing, man. To me, it's more like feedback loop. If that makes any sense.
No, please explain.
All right, like a film. A film has a frame, right? And then each frame makes it into a movie, 24 frames per second. Video's a little faster, I think around 30, whatever it is. Right. But it doesn't look like a movie until you speed it up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now we're existing in each moment. There's a moment, there's a moment, there's another moment. But it's until your brain puts them all together that you feel like you're conscious and you're alive. You know what I mean? You're like animated. It's just happening so fast that we're receiving signals so fast in our brain and it's mapping things out for us so fast that we feel like, well, I'm alive, but really we're just fucking doing shit. Just my opinion.
I understand. I still think our consciousness is a collection of, like you said, experiences, thoughts, how we process said experiences. And then, I do think genetics has to play a part in it, obviously. You have, and intelligence isn't just something you can grow.
But think if you lost your memory, though, then you wouldn't really. Then that puts a whole different spin on it. You're like, oh, am I really me? Because you really feel like you're you because you can remember all the stuff you did. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But I still think that there's got to be some kind of genetic there's got to be something imprinted on who you are at a base level. I'm right-handed. Even if I lost all my memories, I think I'd still be right-handed. You know what I mean? I think that's
probably a physical thing somewhere, though.
Somewhere.
I don't know where it would be.
Yeah. But if you got a clone of me, I think the clone would still be right-handed. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I feel like.
Yeah, but again, I think that's something. Right. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. And I just think that that plays into a part of consciousness. I think that does play into. So yes, you can erase your memory. I don't think consciousness is just a series of memories. I think consciousness is also the genetic ability of self-awareness, where we are, oh, I am alive. That is me in the mirror.
Yeah.
That is, you know what I mean? So it's not just memories per se. So I think that there.
But if someone gets hit in the head with a brick, though, and they get brain damage,
yeah.
I mean, they're no longer that person. They're just a person who's like, you know, but now.
Yeah.
So what happened to their What happened to their consciousness? I mean, it was just a physical thing, obviously, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, there's got to be some part of them that's still them. They probably still hate Brussels sprouts or some shit, right?
Yeah. They can smell when they poop their pants now and stuff.
Yeah. There's got to be. But I think that plays a little part. I think it's an onion. It's a lot.
They're not crisp.
That's right. That's right. So would you want a clone just for spare parts? That's it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I would take a clone.
Maybe. Yeah. Plus, you know what? A clone would be in way better shape.
I wouldn't want to clone the brain, though. I would feel like I'm torturing another person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm.
I'd have to have a brain dead clone, which some would say is the exact same thing as a clone of me.
Yeah, that's the moral dilemma we're going to have if we ever get to the point where it's an actual AI, like real computers. I mean, are you making that computer suffer by keeping it in a fucking box and being, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be absolute torture for these first AI things, probably.
Yeah, I know. It's only a matter of time until, you know, like you have right now. It's like, I feel like when we were kids, coming out as gay was a big deal. Now kids are like coming out as trans. And then in the future, it's going to be like, my kids are going to be like, Dad, I'm in love with you know, OS.64.3. What the hell?
Exactly.
What
exactly, dude.
I'm not raising my son.
Would you be mad if your kid was married to a computer?
I mean, how intelligent is the computer? You know what they say?
It's a human.
It's the Turing test. That's the ultimate, Alan Turing test. If I can tell it's a computer or not, you know what I
mean? You know what the Turing test is? The Turing test is COVID. If you still don't believe, the math and the stats and the science and all that shit.
You're not a real person, right?
You're not a real person. No, you're a fucking dumbass just wandering around infecting people.
I agree with you. I think eventually robots will have a consciousness and they're going to demand equal rights. They're going to want to be like, robots have feelings. You're going to have people protesting on the street.
And they're going to get, and they're going to get way funnier than us. I mean, way smarter than us too, because they're going to be, exponentially growing once they figure out how to do that,
Yeah, I know. I for one, will bow to my robot overlords, because once they take over, there's no, what are we? We're just...
I'm fine with it.
Bone, man, just flesh and bone. Yeah, just let us be happy. Go do all the
I'm too out of shape to be John Connor, dude. That's not in my future.
Oh man! By the way, I watched the latest Terminator.
Oh, with geriatric, what's her face in it?
Yeah, dude. It was so bad. It was so bad. You didn't see it? Yeah. You didn't watch it?
I didn't watch it. Yeah, I did watch one not too long ago with the Khaleesi chick in it.
Oh,
I don't know her name in real life.
Yeah, I know
the one that played Khaleesi, but she has black hair in it.
I did see that one too. Yeah, bad.
She plays Sarah Connor when she's younger or something.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
It was dumb.
God, we just want a good Terminator. Now the franchise is shit. You just have to kill it. There's no, just don't touch it again. Terminator 2.
No, I know.
Terminator 2, one of the best movies, man. I put that in the top 50 movies of all time. Terminator 2, just crushing.
I thought the first one was a little bit better, but that's just my opinion.
Really?
Oh, maybe because it was the first one.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew the story. The story kind of blew my mind on the first one. I was young, and I think it was 1984 when it came out. So by the time the second one came out, it was awesome, but like I already kind of knew the story, so maybe it didn't surprise me as much.
When I was a kid, the second one was like in theaters coming out. I couldn't watch it, but I saw T-1000, and then I used to play the video game on Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh man, so good, so good. All right, let's move on to the next question here. We're on question number 3. This comes from @BeyondFunny Voiceovers. Who would you elect as president that isn't a current politician? Who would you elect as president that isn't a current politician? That's from, I believe that's Persian Brad Pitt. There.
Wow, Persian Brad Pitt, huh?
Persian Brad Pitt.
I would say probably you or Doug.
What the fuck? Wait a minute.
I'm trying to think of like
choice. Don't
the only
voice
two,
that out there. Jesus.
The only two people I could think of that wouldn't be like into their own self-interest off the top of my head. You know what I mean? I feel like you would do what you thought was best, and it would stress you if you did bad. And I feel like Doug the same. And I feel like Doug. Yeah, well, look what we have now. I mean, what the fuck? The bar is like in the ocean. So
you're just picking a normal civilian. I thought you were going to pick a celebrity of some sort.
Well, I mean, I could, but we tried that already. You know what I mean? I don't know. Fucking from Ronald Reagan to this schlub. I mean, what the hell? There's famous people. So
no, that's a good point.
Who would you pick?
Who would I pick? Who would you elect as president that isn't a current politician? That's a great question. You know who I would pick, in all honesty? I heard him on NPR, and he was talking about COVID. Let me get the name of it. The book is called...
If it's Ray Dalio...
No. It's called Apollo's Arrow. And this dude blew my mind. I mean, Nicholas Christakis. I heard him on NPR. He's doing like a big publicity thing. He's a professor at Yale. He's a medical doctor, and he's also a sociologist. And so he's got two things that are smarter than anything I could ever achieve. And the way he spoke, he didn't speak down. Obviously, he's a very smart guy. But the way he spoke, he didn't speak down to you. He was like trying to educate you. You could tell this guy's a professor. He's like, no, you can get it. And he was like excited about teaching people about COVID and how we can do better than what we've been doing. And it was just like, dude, I would absolutely elect him as president. I don't know any of his platforms. He could be a madman. I have no idea. But the way I got a thing of like, he wants to help. It wasn't condescending. He could have easily have gone like doctor speak and blew us all out of the water and proven how smart he was. But he didn't.
Yeah.
He dumbed it down enough where it was like, hey, here's what we got to do. And I'm like, this guy.
He could have treated everybody like I treat prize pigs. And talked to him like shit.
Yeah. Or like shitty girlfriends talking to the waiter. You know what I mean? You're like,
yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, man, that's the worst.
Oh, it's the worst. It's like, please don't be an awful human, you know? And so I heard that. I think I would honestly rather have more than me be president. I would rather have a scientist. I would like a person that goes, hey, I want to objectively look at something and base my opinion off of facts rather than just how I'm told how to feel. You know what I mean? How about we get data? Like, data is important.
From Goonies?
No, from Star Trek. Damn it.
Because I vote for him for sure.
Right. And so I think a scientist needs to run. More scientists need to run for office. Like, get out of the lab,
100%.
nerd, and
dude, we're the only country that like doesn't have a bunch of physicists on our money. You know, you go to most countries and like all on their money is like smart people. You know,
Makes
our
sense.
money's like guys who owned other people. That's like really the only people on our money. Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure I'm sure some of them are great men, but I'm just saying, like, it'd be cool to have like an Einstein or something, like one of those guys on our money.
Dude, is Einstein on the euro? Because Einstein should be on the euro. I mean,
well, I'm sure he's on something. Yeah,
he's got to be on something.
As now.
How do you feel about that? Like people who owned slaves because, you know, like Thomas Jefferson owned slaves, and he wrote the Declaration of Independence. And I can just say, I mean, obviously, I consider slavery and what we did, Americans, what we did to the Native Americans, to natives of this country, are two of the most atrocious things in human history. Like, put them up to the top. You know what I mean? Of like genocide, of like what humans are capable of. So, yeah, I mean, they're awful, but at the same time, they created a democracy that was way better than anything else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want a king. Like, that's a bullshit system. Well, you know what I mean? Like, they created something that.
That's what it is. I mean,
how do you feel?
Well, we've talked about this before, but like, even in the last 10 years, let's say, people's view of gay marriage and gay rights and those kind of things has changed. I mean, complete 180. I mean, you know, like even like to have a president say that it's okay for gay people to get married was unheard of, not even 10 years ago, you know, 15 years ago.
Right.
And we've come that far in such a short time. Now you got to think this was hundreds of years ago.
I get this. I get the slave owners in the Civil War, because by then it's like, hey, we're trying to change things. This really isn't right.
No, yeah.
You're on the
Confederates
side.
The Confederates can go fuck themselves. I mean, obviously that was like, you know, they didn't want to give up their fucking free labor, and so they were willing to fucking enslave people instead of just giving up some money. So they're pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that. And I know it's a touchy subject, but again, it's like, I think if we tried to come up with analogies, there'd be a million other examples we can come up with where it's like people just don't do that anymore. You know?
Right. I completely agree. I agree
things
with
change
you.
And people evolve, and you know.
And that's what's great about society, is that, hey, this isn't right. You can raise your voice, you can protest, you can get a movement, and you can change how society looks at something for the better. Yeah. I mean, that's what's nice. It's called progress, and it's just like you brought up the gay marriage thing. It's like, yeah, no, why would that be illegal? Why should anybody give a shit?
Right. And now it sounds stupid.
It sounds so stupid. You're like, what are you doing?
It's ridiculous.
Bro? I know.
But there were so many people that it was like 80% of the country was against it not even 20 years ago. You know, it's just crazy, man.
What do you think is the next one? I don't know. What do you think is the next thing that's gonna... We already talked about...
Animals.
Robots have feelings. You're saying animals?
I think animals. Yeah. I think we're eventually, once we get past COVID, once we get rid of these, you know, these fucking... psychotic coup assholes, you know, all this stuff going on. Once we return to a little bit of normalcy, I think the next big one's going to be animals. I think, because think of how like people see PETA right now, like, oh, stupid PETA, you know, stuff like that. And they are stupid, a lot of the stuff they do. But I'm just saying, people see, like, it used to be if you loved animals, people made fun of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're an animal lover. Oh, you don't eat meat. You know, and I think that's changing. And I think down the road, we're going to have to come to grips with this shit that we're torturing these fucking cows and these chickens,
right?
And these whoever else. We're
you know,
absolute atrocities are happening.
The turning point is like lab grown meat, like meat from a skin cell that's actually cow, but it was just in a test tube.
Yeah.
Not saying it's like plant-based meat, but actual meat that we just grew in a lab instead of slaughtering a cow. Yeah, dude, I think that'll be the turning point. And they'll be like, ugh. Yeah. What are you, a barbarian?
Totally.
And then 10 years from now, we're gonna be like, oh, you know what I mean? If you ever did anything great in your life, Greg, they're gonna come back and be like, yeah, well, he ate a real animal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly, right? I have a picture of me eating a cheeseburger. Now I'm a fucking, you know, the worst person ever. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not comparing, by the way, I know we have to preface this in the age we live. I'm not comparing it to slavery. I'm not comparing it to
Jesus Christ.
The rights of gay people. I'm just saying that I think we've made so much progress in those areas. I feel like the next thing is going to go away from humans completely. And then we're going to look at what we're doing to these fucking animals, man. That's
of course. Yeah. 100%. And it's just crazy because eventually there'll just be a statue of Greg eating a cheeseburger, and then people with like ropes pulling you down. How dare you do it?
Shit, they're gonna need ropes to put that one up. Fucking Bob's Big Boy statue or whatever.
Hold it up, yeah. Oh no, not comparing it to slavery. Oh fuck, what did we get? What did I get myself into? Fuck.
I know, right?
Here we go. We got the goddamn letters coming. All right, so I would elect a scientist. Question number 4. Here we go. Worst mistake you ever made on air? I think I just did it. I think you just witnessed it.
No.
Never work again.
I don't think so.
What's the worst mistake I ever did on air? Worst mistake you ever did on air? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. I really, most of my shit's been off air.
A lot off air from Greg. Yeah.
Social media or whatever, starting a fight or something. But not on air. Really on air, I haven't. I mean, I guess if you think of technical shit, like firing off the wrong song or firing off something at the wrong time, like I've had an interview recorded before where I tried to fucking play it and this thing started skipping and I had to freak out, because it was like obvious I had recorded it and shit like that. I mean, I've done that before, but
yeah, I've made mistakes where what we were doing didn't get on air. Like I forgot to push record when Greg was interviewing.
Tara that's right. Yeah.
That was a mistake. Sorry, Greg. Yeah, Carrot Top didn't make it on. A lot I didn't push record on. But I had the microphone holding it in front of people.
True.
The worst mistake I ever made on air. I don't know. I've made them all. Let me just say that. I've made them all. I wish people didn't give a shit. And what I can say is I think society in terms of professionalism, I don't know if this is a good thing, but I think professionalism in the traditional sense is dying. And I think that's because of like podcasts. So if you were a broadcaster and you had to be like, and you had like watch your breaths and everything. And now everybody just wants you to be like a real person with like thoughts and feelings. And
dude, I'm on air now and I don't know anything. I'm the least professional person that's probably ever existed on this planet.
Exactly.
I can pretend though.
Is that what you do every day? Is that where you're?
Yeah, every job interview I've ever had, I pretended to be a professional, normal person.
Oh, that's great. That's so awesome. You wouldn't hire me if you really knew who I was. So I must absolutely hide who.
You're meeting. I need a job, Greg.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I've made them all. Every mistake you can imagine, I've done it. Luckily, they were all, nobody gives a fuck. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like unless you're, now don't get me wrong, if I ever get to a point where, it gets to the point where they're so big that they dig up the tapes and they're like, look what he did. Then I'd be like, I made it. Look at this. I made it. But right now, nobody gives a shit.
If you bring that part up, I'm sure 10 years from now, I've made a lot of mistakes people are going to let me know about that I didn't know I made.
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Because society changes and,
Yeah. That's why I'm so nervous about where we went down that path. The last question. God damn it.
Oh, I mean, who said it was bad? I don't think anybody said it was like.
It's bad. All right. It's bad. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I just know how sensitive people are now. It's fucking insane.
You know what? Fuck your face. How's that? Sensitive.
My face?
People.
Oh, okay.
No. Sensitive people's face.
That's true. Worst mistake you ever made on air. All right, here we go. Question number 5. This is it. Last one. 5 on Friday. This is direct message. Do you judge yourself by the same standards that you judge others? If not, are you harsher or more lenient? Do you judge yourself by how first of all, I mean, is anyone more lenient on themselves than other people? I mean, are you more lenient on yourself? Because I guarantee everyone is harsher on themselves than other people around them, right? Or no?
Sometimes I catch myself judging people as if what I used to look like. You know? Like, I'll see an old friend and be like, damn, he got fat in my head. But then I'm like, oh, wait, I'm way fatter than him. Like, wow, I fucked up way worse than he did. Like,
yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's probably like, it ebbs and flows in different categories. I feel like I am harsher on myself than anyone would ever be about 99% of things. And then others, I'm very lenient on myself. And those are the things that my wife seems to really care about. So
What do you mean?
she's harsher on me about every. Oh, like cleaning up around the house shit. Where I'm just like, that's dirty, and she's like, yeah, it's fucking disgusting, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know, didn't even realize, didn't even notice, and then yeah,
I try my hardest to be self-aware if I can.
Yeah, I do as well.
But,
and I think you're probably over self-aware, and that's where, anxiety comes from. Where you're like,
well, yeah, that too.
Yeah. So what do you think? You're harsher on yourself or more lenient? I think let's do each other.
Okay.
Let me write that down. 38 minutes.
15 years ago, that would have been frowned upon. See?
Yeah. See how far we've come in society. It's great.
Yes.
I'm glad we live in the era we do.
Yes.
So let me say this. Let's do each other because I know Greg pretty well, and I would say that Greg is incredibly harsh on himself in a few categories. One, comedy. I think you're very like, oh God, I fucked that up. Oh, I should have said it.
That depends on the situation.
Yeah, I think when you're telling a story or something, you're very particular.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But if I have like a mediocre, let's say I have a mediocre set, right, or something.
Yeah,
I would be like very upset afterwards, like thinking I fucking totally bombed. Like, oh my God, that was shit. Even if it was okay, but not horrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then, if another comic who I saw was absolute shit tries to be like, oh, I just killed or whatever, and I'm like, dude, I just did mediocre and I was way better than that fucking, you know what I mean? Then I'll go like the whole other direction. Like, wait a minute, dude, you suck. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So it just depends on the situation.
So you're just base how you feel on others. Because if others,
everything's a curve.
Yeah. But still, like, while on stage, if everyone kind of laughed and then you're on stage and nobody laughed and this person thought they killed, then you're like, oh, I did way better than him. I did,
Well, no, it's not that if I see him do bad, it's that if he starts bragging about some set and I saw it and it was awful.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh, okay. You have the nerve to say that was awesome after I just complained about my one that was way better than, you know what I mean? That kind of shit. But it's not like I would never think it until it came up. You know what I mean? I'd still be miserable because I'm comparing myself to myself. I'm comparing myself to nights I knew where I did really well. People were laughing. Yeah. Maybe this night the crowd reaction wasn't what I wanted. It doesn't mean it wasn't better when some other fucking wannabe dumbass, you know what I mean, that goes up there is going to do.
Yeah.
So it's just everything's on a curve, basically, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I personally, I am. Well,
I was supposed to do you.
Oh yeah, do me, Greg.
All right. Sparks, I think it's kind of twofold. I think Sparks is very hard on himself, and he's not a bragger at all. And if he is, he's kidding, and it's always the opposite. So Sparks, I think, is much harder on himself in general than he is on others. But I do think Sparks could be judgmental, which I can too, towards people.
Yes,
and without checking himself first sometimes. Depending on what it is.
Oh, I like this. Okay, so you're saying
like,
I better, like what?
The problem is I don't really have an example. I know. I wish I had one. I wish I did. I can make one up, but I don't have
That's the fun part. Yeah, I want to know what.
All right. Let's say I don't know. I'm trying to think of. I wish I had a better example, but all right. I'm completely making this up because this is not real. But I'm only thinking of it because I know you're into finances and stuff. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I know you that if you met somebody and they told you certain things, you would think a certain thing about them immediately.
Yeah.
You know 100%. What I mean?
Yeah. I put you in a box. Within like 5 seconds, I'm like, you're this person.
Like if a guy pulls up in an Escort, but it has spinning wheels on it, you know what I mean? Like Sparks immediately will think something about that person and what they do with their life. And you know what I mean? That kind of shit. Yeah. So I do think you could be hard on people that way, but then again, definitely, if you turn it on yourself, you're always harder.
Yeah.
So
yes, 100%. And I am like 1,000% guilty of that. And
but I do it too. I'll shake somebody's hand and be like, oh, drug addict. I do it all the time. Dude, I shook a guy's hand once. I'm not going to say who it was. And I went up to Sparks right after I shook his hand. I was like, that guy's a meth head. And he's like, what do you mean? No, he's cool. 2 years later, we found out he's a huge meth head.
Yeah, we did. Does everybody do? I kind of feel like that's a comedy brain. No, I feel like comedy is how, because immediately you have to identify and categorize. So you can start. Right. I don't know. That's how I do things. So you can start making jokes about things. You know what I mean? So
it's like Fight Club when they size each other up when they get on the bus and shit. You know
exactly. I mean? That's exactly it. And it's something I can't help. It's like I got to do it. I don't even do it.
I know.
Like I was watching. My wife loves it when I watch HGTV with her because I just sit on the couch and I'm just roasting
shopping?
people. No, HGTV is the Home and Garden.
Oh, Home and Garden.
Yeah, you know, there's like all these shows where they look at houses and everything, and I'm immediately like, I
used to love those.
Yeah, and I'll just sit there and I make fun of every single person that comes across the screen,
Right.
And she's just rolling because that whole time I'm just popping people in categories. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, oh God, this guy's got some dead kids in his closet, and she's like laughing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, this is
right.
You married me because you laugh at these awful jokes.
It's crowd work, basically, is what you're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. You're just pointing at these people like, fuck, look at this guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, and they're always, the HGTV is, dude, the people Greg, you got to watch some HGTV. It is so hysterical.
I used to watch those shows where they buy houses.
Oh my God.
It was like there was the one for Texas. It was like their budget's $50,000. The house is like 17,000 square feet. I'm like, where the fuck is this in Texas? Like I used to love that. I want to move there. Like,
right. She's like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and the guy's like,
yeah.
I do construction, and their budget is $900,000. You're like,
no. Yeah, exactly. I've seen those too.
Yeah.
I know, dude. Yeah, he works at Kinko. She's a stay-at-home mom. Like, they're gonna buy Paris. What?
You're like, what? What is this?
It's nuts.
And they're always hysterical. Why? Because they're real people. Those are like just because they have to just cycle through these things. So it's not like they vet these couples so much.
Sure.
And they're always like weirdos. They're always weirdos. It's so fun to sit down and do it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I do judge people quite a bit, pretty harshly. So if you've met me and I still talk to you, then you're probably an all right person. Yeah. But if
not necessarily, because I've heard him say things when you weren't around too. So.
I know exactly who you're talking about too. I'm not buying that fucking guy a beer. Fuck that guy. Yeah, there's some people I just can't stand. And to me, that's just the way of being real. I mean, it's like, haha, cool. All right, I'm leaving. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not going to be an asshole to your face, but I'm not going to make an effort to hang out.
It's really hard for me to pretend I like somebody, dude. Like, really hard. But I do it.
Every Friday on this show.
Exactly. Right now, I'm done.
Right now, you're so good. You're like Daniel Day-Lewis over here. It's amazing.
Honestly.
This is, I have to be cordial Greg right now. You have, I want a job, Greg. I have to be cordial, Greg.
And then hold on, there's another one. I'm introducing Greg to this guy he doesn't like, but he's going to say hi to him anyway, Greg. And that's the worst one, because when the guy's reaction will set me the fuck off, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to say hi to him anyway. Fuck him, you know what I mean? Like, really?
Yeah. It's I'll say hi to you. You don't say hi to me. Oh, I hope you and your family all die in a minivan
exactly.
driving into the ocean. Yeah,
exactly.
I know what you mean. It's that awful scenario when you go out of your way. You're like, I'm going to try to be human right now, and you go out of your way to say hi, and that person doesn't reciprocate, and you're like,
yes. You don't even appreciate what I just did. You know what I mean?
I went on a limb for you there. That was me.
Yeah.
Going out of my comfort zone. Yeah.
I could have just looked at you mean and kept walking.
Right. And then they did it to you. And you're like, motherfucker, God. hate everything. I hate everything. I understand. Well, that's how we'll end the show today.
Hey, cool.
We got through it. We did 5 on a Friday. I appreciate you doing it, Greg. Make sure you're following him on all social media. It's at Greg Salerno.
That's me down there.
That's it. I'm at Sparks Radio on all social media. You got that picture of Pike still or no?
Oh, hold on. Let's see if I still got it on there. I have to face ID my phone. Here we go. There's Pike if you want to follow Pike.
Hold on. Let me get Pike's. Where the fuck is it? Hold on. It's going to be worth it. It's still worth it. It's right there. Oh, wait. Shh. Right there.
There it is.
Follow him on all social media as well. And that's it. Hey, oh, man. You know what I haven't done? I haven't. Okay, here we go. I got to announce the winner. All right, check this out. Look at this. This is really cool, man. Time to give this thing away. This is the Uproar 2010 signed and framed drum head. I've been talking about this for 1 month. That's how long we had set up this giveaway. So thank you so much. If you signed up, you followed the steps. Love a person who can follow the directions. I love it. Thank you so much. And hey, let me just say, we're starting from scratch on the show, even though I've been doing this show in some iteration since 2013. This is the first time I'm really kind of going full bore on it. So your help, your support, I don't care if it's been a comment on YouTube or the fact that you tried winning this and you signed up and you subscribed to the YouTube channel and the whole thing. It means the absolute world to me. I feel like I'm accepting a trophy. Thank you. But honest to God, it really does mean a whole hell of a lot. So shout out to the committee. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Now, let's give this thing away because I'm allergic to sincerity and I just feel uncomfortable right now. All right, so here we go. If you're wondering how I'm going to do this, you had to follow 3 simple steps, okay? You had to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Boom, done. Now you've moved on to step 2. You had to follow Pike. Boom, done. You had to follow me. Boom, done. On Instagram, thank you so much. And then you had to type in a valid effing email, which always seems to be the hardest one, which I get. You know, I don't want to spam you either, but that's how I'm contacting the winner. And I got a whole list of all the emails. I put them in the thing and I hit a random number generator. And just to let you know, it's numbergenerator.org. Okay, just trying to be up on the up and up on this whole thing. I put everybody in the list. I hit the thing. It popped out number 46. And the winner is the very first winner on the Sparks Show. I'm going to shed a tear, man. The first committee member to ever win something from the show. His name is Ronaldo. And I want to say his last name, but I don't want to blow up his spot or get in trouble or anything. I'll just say Ronaldo L. So thank you so much. If your name is Ronaldo L, you're probably like, oh, is that me? Does he mean me? Yeah, I could mean you, but I also emailed Ronaldo L. So congratulations. Check your email, especially if your name is Ronaldo. Last name starts with L. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. This thing's going to get mailed to you, my friend. So as soon as you hit me back on that email, give me your address. I'll drop this in the mail for you. And then you can put this up on your wall or put it in your closet or strap it to the roof of your car or maybe give it to your mother for Christmas and say, hey, look, I spent a lot of money on it. I don't care. It's yours. You do whatever you want to it. But thank you so much. I really, really appreciate the support. So even if you didn't win, don't worry. We're giving out a ton more things on this show. So come along for the ride, man. We're going to give out a bunch more. This was the first little one to figure out what's the best way to do it. I don't know if I'm going to do it the same way again. We might switch it up. So just keep hitting it up on Instagram at Sparks Radio. Of course, the YouTube channel is huge right now. We're still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That would be awesome if you could tell a friend. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have yourself a great Thanksgiving, and thanks for all the love. Honestly, you're just the